Can I have your phone?
Still charging, so it's got 22% and it's charging. Sorry.
Okay.
I think we'll do high-end versus high quality.
Okay.
Talk about some things that I've seen.
Oh, and I was thinking we could talk about the awards that we won. So the logo and the awards. That's what I was thinking.
Well, that'll go with our topic.
Uh-huh.
I hate traffic. I really do. Haters gonna hate. I hate sitting. It feels like a waste of time. Avoid the tie-ups with traffic every 10 minutes mornings and frequent updates all afternoon. News Radio 1200 WOAI. It's Thursday night. Driving trains. Started off with a picture for the table.
How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Just fine. Had a good day in service.
We started our vacation.
Today?
We went I had a insider event for pre-Black Friday shopping.
Oh, really?
Yes, so we did that. Mm-hmm.
Lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed,
We're going to still call it high-end versus high quality.
Okay.
to around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like
What was he talking about now it's podcasting? We weren't doing it before?
I guess they were having some trouble.
National Highway Traffic Safety
You have to check on that and see.
Keyboard cat, Hamilton the Bug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most popular podcasts. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story.
No, I think you need it.
Cat today.
I wouldn't know what to do with it except mess up something.
Shelter or adoptable pets.
Right.
Yeah.
Train that pet to play the keyboard. Well, that's entirely up to you.
Hey, we made it in time.
Mm-hmm.
Visit the shelter and hear more about Hamilton the Bug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the
You see
Humane
it?
Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
The following is a paid
Huh?
program. The views and opinions
I'm still
expressed
trying
are
to
those
get
of
it
the advertiser and do not necessarily represent those of WOAI.
I just realized what I did. I put it to YouTube. Oh well, we're on YouTube and Instagram right now, not Facebook. I put it to. I'm so used to doing it the other way. I put it to YouTube and Instagram.
That's backwards. Welcome to the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show. I'm Keith Moehle and glad to be with you. And we're going to see if Morgan's mic's working. It's not.
Hello, hello, hello.
No, it's not going to work again. We're going to have to get Gabriel in here to figure out how to get microphone 5 on again. But we'll do that in a minute. Let's just try all of them and see.
Hello, hello.
Why don't you jump over to a different microphone and see which one's working. We are going to be talking today about high-end versus high quality. And we're glad to be with you. And as always, you can try us at 737-1200 or 1-800-383-WOAI. If you'd like to join in on the show, you have any questions about remodeling, we'd love to take your call at 737-1200. Morgan, which one?
I'm on mic 2.
Mic 2.
It shows it's working.
Yeah, it shows it's working, but it's not.
Nothing's working.
Okay. Nadine, is that one lit up?
They're all lit up.
Okay, that's mic 3.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to use that for now. Let's try that.
No, I'm sorry, that's mic 4. This is
Oh.
mic 4.
Mic 4, there we go. How's that?
Is it working?
Yeah, it's working. Okay, we'll get mic 5 working on the other one. We try to do it so that we can be on the video. But right now, Morgan, in the back of her, you can turn to the camera and say hi.
Hello.
But we're gonna go ahead and get into the show. We look forward to taking your calls. Again, it's 737-1200. We have an announcement to make. Morgan was inducted into the National Association of the Remodeling Industry last night as one of the directors in the local chapter here. And what else happened at that? I wasn't able to make it. I mean, I really wanted to go, but I couldn't. And there's an awards banquet too, so tell us what we got.
Well, it's funny if I remember. Okay, here they are. We won 3 awards. We won.
How many did we enter?
We entered 4.
4.
Yeah.
No, but for projects.
Oh, 3.
And how many did we win for those?
All 3.
All 3, great, great.
So we entered a residential kitchen over $150,000. We won that. An entire house, $500,000 to $750,000. We won. And residential kitchen, $60,000 to $100,000. We won.
Those are great. Those are 3 categories that we really liked performing in, and we did well. And so we're real happy about winning those awards, because it doesn't tell us anything we didn't already know, not to sound bragging or anything, but we know that we do a great job, because we stay on it till it's done, and we give that attention to detail and that precision. But we also, we knew we wanted it, we enjoy getting the awards because it tells everybody that worked on it. Everybody that worked on it feels really good when we win the award. The whole team just really enjoys seeing us win awards. So we decided we would submit again this year, and we won all 3 of those categories. What
am I laughing about?
Well, yeah, you can tell me that too.
Because Mr. Gallardo's texting me saying, "Come on, Morgan, get mic 5 working."
Yeah, he's one of our showcase winners. So he texted me this weekend and was talking about the award, how it had great designs.
Because I texted all of our clients right when we won to let them know, and they're all
great.
So excited. But Brandon says, now I can have an award-winning kitchen.
That's right.
I said, it's official.
It's official. and I said, and he said, I can't take credit for the designs, even though he had some of those ideas. He did have really great ideas. Him and his wife both just had really great ideas. And it's a privilege, as I shared with him today. What a privilege. We truly appreciate the privilege of working for people who give us some freedom in design and work with their ideas, and then really want to see what comes out of that. And it truly is a privilege. But we really had some great wins last night.
Oh yeah, I think.
And I think you should have won the Buzz Award, which is the 4th one that you talked about.
Yes, but they didn't announce it. Nobody got it. So
Nobody
I don't know
won.
where the award went.
So maybe they forgot to get the trophy made or something.
I don't know, but there's an email coming their way on
That's
Monday.
right.
Because I think we definitely should have won that.
And what was that submitted for?
Our Instagram page.
Oh yeah,
The best social media page. So
Well, you've grown this Instagram so much, and by the way, people should log on if you haven't logged on to Instagram and catch us live.
Yep, we're live today on Instagram and YouTube, and I'm gonna try to switch YouTube over to Facebook during the break.
Yeah. So because I forgot my computer,
Yes.
my iPad. That's why. Again, I keep forgetting to bring it to the new studio for some reason. But we are going to be talking about precision and our experience. The 3 things we talk about a lot and that people know us for is experience, precision, and quality. And these things permeate all of the shows that we talk about. You hear that constantly. It's really what we're known for, and it's what really sets us apart from other people who claim to do a great job. This precision, our decades of experience, not just from me, but from so many of the team members who have similar amounts of experience, and we have a 40-person staff. So when you add it all up, you're talking about hundreds. In fact, it's over 500 years of experience. So as we talk about our subject today, which is high-end versus high quality, we're going to talk about the difference in that. And we're going to go ahead and take our lane contractor of the week before we get off the air here.
Well, our first segment, it's kind of interesting. So this lady, she said after 10 years of experiencing extreme fatigue, nobody could figure out what it was, but she had somebody come in to do minor repairs, and the contractors figured out that they had a carbon monoxide leak. And so now she's starting to feel a lot better after they figured it out, but there was never a carbon monoxide detector installed, or it wasn't working. So I just thought that that's just a lame situation, and that we should highlight that,
And-
because it was just recently on the news.
And it can happen. I mean,
Yeah.
one of the ways that it can happen, people should know this, and it's happened to us before, where a roofer would re-roof and pull the jacks off, and sometimes they're attached in a way that loosens up the one down below. And when a water heater vent is pulled off, it really needs to be checked. And we've started implementing, obviously a process to make sure that jack, what's called it's a vent pipe. And so all the gases and the burnt fuel goes up through the exhaust vent in a water heater pipe that's actually gas. And that gas venting has to go straight through the roof. It cannot go in the attic, it has to go straight through the roof. And if you don't do that, you can get, it could theoretically start using up some of the oxygen in the room, because it has less than the 2 molecules of oxygen. So it's carbon monoxide, and it could cause people to feel fatigue or sick, or even cause death. So
Yeah,
it is
she
a
was losing her voice.
very serious issue. But that's not the only place, and that's probably not the most common place. One of the more common places is obviously fireplaces and heaters that are using up oxygen in the room. And so, but a water heater is not that commonly done in a house anymore. They're not usually in the house, they're vented outside. But it's still very, very important to check those things. So carbon monoxide can come from several places, but it's usually from a fuel source that is burning oxygen, and then of course not getting it out. And that what it actually starts to do is crowd out the good oxygen in the room. You're starting to displace some of the oxygen that's in there naturally, and it's forced in. The carbon monoxide is actually forcing that in, and it's taking over to a higher, at least to the level that it can cause problems. So again, quality and experience tells us how to handle these things. And then you have to be precise. You have to tell your people, and you have to have someone follow through on that. So precision comes in not just doing something really fine-tuned, but it's in the communication, it's in the follow-through, it's in the checkups and so forth. And, we should be held to a high standard, and we hold ourselves to a very high standard. And so, that is a lame situation, and we're gonna talk more about how to avoid those situations and what the difference between high-end and high quality really is, both pros and cons. And we're gonna talk about that when we come back to the K & Builders Remodeling and Design Show.
And now, the worst commercial ever.
I printed the logo so we can show.
What's that?
I printed the logo so we can go this.
Let's talk about this subject, focus on this subject though.
Well, that's our what's trending anyways.
Okay, you do it then.
Yeah.
Do it then. That's what you had planned on doing.
Yeah.
That's when I wanna do it.
Why isn't your phone working?
Turn off that charging button at the bottom. Hold it down for about 2 seconds, and then let go. Maybe it'll get a better signal.
I don't know. It's doing this always. I'm gonna put this one on Facebook.
10-4.
What did he say?
We have one call, Robert.
Okay.
Who's the client testimonial, the con review?
Brandon just said, I appreciate your kind words both here and on the air. And he had said, he texted me and said, just like Fraser Crane, I'm listening.
What?
He said, he texted me and said, just like Fraser Crane, I'm listening.
That's hilarious. Ask him. Can you text him back? Or is that a prank?
I already started this.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna do it on Instagram. It's just gonna be Facebook and YouTube because I think that that's gonna work. Was it? Yeah, Instagram kept crashing on it.
What?
I don't know
Can you
why.
do Instagram on yours instead? It won't work that way.
No, because this is the wrong thing.
Okay. Look at that snow. Look at that coming in.
I know.
Look,
I saw it already.
yeah, it's coming down. We were calculating the other day, how many minutes does a professional football player play on average?
You were calculating that?
If somebody was like, how long does the team actually play? Are they actually playing? This is not the individuals, because they're on and off, right?
Yeah.
They don't play all parts, but the entire team only plays 11 minutes.
That's it. It's a long game for only 11
Because of all the
minutes.
breaks and stuff that go on, I mean, and how long it takes before the play is snapped and the clock is running, there's only 11 minutes of play out of 60 of actual action. 11 minutes. And most players only play at the max half of that,
Wow.
and usually less than half. So
Yeah.
you think about how much money they make for playing 5 minutes of action. It's incredible, right? That's better than almost anybody in the world gets paid for the actual time performed.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball players,
Oh, they're
24,
on it.
24 to 40 minutes. It's 4. Welcome back to the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show. I'm Keith, and Morgan's here with me. And we are talking about high-end versus high quality.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I want to talk about that? Because a lot of people assume when I talk to them that that high quality means high-end pricing. And that's the same thing as me saying high quality. And high-end does not mean high quality. In fact, sometimes high-end price and high pricing does not even get you high quality. So we're going to explore that a little bit, but we will be glad to take your calls on anything dealing with remodeling at 737-1200 or 1-800-383-WOAI. Again, that local number is 737-1200. And we're going to go ahead and take a call from Robert if you're still there. Robert, are you there? How about Robert? Is he there? Let's see. I probably need to do another button. Gabriel, can you tell me what I'm doing wrong? Is there another button I need to press? How about that? Did that help? Is Robert there? Hey,
Hello.
Robert. Well, thank you very much. It's glad to hear you. Thank you for calling. How can we help you?
We just bought a water heater, electric. We changed over from gas to electric. Is there anything I need to do after the everything's hooked up?
No, you have a lot less safety issues with electric. There is always an overflow pressure valve on there that is in case it were just to, the thermostat were to go out and it kept boiling the water. You don't want it to get hotter and hotter and hotter to the point of where it's going to explode. So there is a pressure relief valve on there.
Center, correct?
That's correct, and it usually it has a connection so that it goes out to outside the home.
I'll look for that connection. I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah, and did you install it yourself or have someone do that?
I did, and a friend did.
Okay, Yeah, just, you can look it up on YouTube and you'll see those valves that, and how they're supposed to be, it's a pop-off type valve, and the name is escaping me, I wanna say PTO, something, valve, valve, but anyway, that is definitely, something to be looking for, and you probably have it, but, other than that, you know, electric water heaters are very easy to install, they don't need the venting that a gas burning appliance would need.
I noticed that there's air in the when I turn the water on, there's like air in it. Do I just like keep running the water so the air comes out?
Yes, that is good. You can get to the farthest, usually the farthest fixture, like maybe it's an outside faucet, and if you let that run, and that usually purges the line. You can turn them all at the same time on for a little while, and that would also work to get all that air out, and then you'll be fine.
Second question. Do I call the city to cut my gas off? They already cut it. They put a lock on it. But now I have in the past 2 months I've been charged a gas price of maybe $6.
Well, that is an interesting thought. I had not thought. You have absolutely no gas appliances, no logs, no fireplace starter, no stove that has gas or a furnace.
Everything's capped.
Okay, well then I would definitely call the city.
Okay. I know it's locked. Does that mean that there's no gas entering the house from that point?
Yes, that's what it should mean. If it's turned in the position and they put a lock on it, then that's probably what it means. I mean, that's the way they do it. And then, of course, you can have it completely removed if you want. And I'm not sure, you know, what that charge would be for, that minimum charge, maybe as long as you have it. But I would definitely try to get rid of that charge.
Yeah, that's $6 I could use to feed the cats.
There you go. That'll buy quite a bit of cat food for a week or two, unless it's a big cat.
I have a colony, so there's like 10 of them.
Oh, no.
Well, then you need all the help you can get, brother. So, Robert, hey, thanks for the call. Those are some good questions, and I hope your new water heater works great for you. All right, thank you very much for calling. And just like that, you can call the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show live, and we can take your call at 737-1200. And Morgan has a client testimonial she'd like to share with us.
Yes, we just got a testimonial on the 16th, and it was Miss Khan. She reviewed us on Yelp, and she said, I had KM do our kitchen remodel, and it exceeded our expectations. Beautiful work, on time, professional, would highly recommend. And you can see her really pretty kitchen that we did for her on our kitchens page on our website, if you just look at Khan.
K-A-H-N, and thank you for the great review, and that was 5 stars, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of precision, we've learned something about precision with our experience that has to do with reviews. And for a long time, we just had trouble getting people to review us, even though they were very happy and they would send us text messages and so forth.
Yeah.
But it was only with Morgan and her team that we were able finally to get more precise about this. We had to make it easier for folks to review us. So now, finally, in fact, as recently as the last 2 weeks, we've started getting reviews now for the first time in our history.
Yeah.
We're getting all these positive reviews, and it started to come in really quick because we finish so many projects regularly, and we do a good job on all these projects, so people are very glad to review us, that we just didn't know how to make it easy for them. So all of you listening, if you've been one of our clients, we would appreciate the reviews, because we just recently had a client that said that they didn't like the reviews and they were concerned. And so I said, man, that is just so unfortunate. So we were working already hard on it to fix that problem, which we knew existed, because you get a couple of bad reviews from people who really we didn't even do work for.
Yep.
And then one who I think was going through a real problem and stuck it to me, even though I had asked them if they were happy, and they said yes, we fixed a problem. And they said he said he was happy, but he just, I mean, 2 or 3 years later, he ended up writing a review after and even then, before he wrote it, I checked with him. But you can't win all the time, and we have made a mistake, you know, but we've always tried to make it right. And but then the real problem was is we had some people who changed their mind during the design process, and they wanted all their money back, and I didn't want to give it back to them because we had already spent the money. And they ended up getting their money, but they still left a bad review.
Yep.
So what can you do? I mean, you know,
And
some of those people, and then I've got reviews from people who I gave a quote to, and they said it was so high, they give us a bad review. One of them
Yeah.
said I badmouthed his mother and father's house, and that was a complete lie.
Yep.
The guy was a scammer from the beginning, and he wanted me to come in and try to force me into doing lousy work for his, because I wouldn't work on the house. He said 3 or 4 other people actually had said that they'd given them quotes, and I was just too lazy to give them a quote. That's because everything they were gonna do was not gonna meet the expectations of the homeowner. And I'm sure he raked somebody over the coals after they did business with him. It is
Yep.
really sickening. I mean, that guy made me furious. And
But the thing is,
hope I never run into him.
most people, when you think about it, most people only leave reviews when they feel they've had a negative experience or they're upset about something. And a lot of people that have great experiences,
See no reason to get on there and
that's
voice
not
their
a
opinion.
natural thing. It doesn't come to your mind to leave a review. So
Right, a
you
positive
know,
one.
99% of our clients would leave positive reviews if it was easier.
And you made it easier.
Yeah.
So now, just for everyone listening, we could use more reviews because we didn't make it easy enough for you in the past. So it's kmbuilders.com/review.
Yep.
And
That's
it
it.
is easy once you log on to that. I mean, it is really easy. You can pick people to review, and you can do it on multiple sites, kmbuilders.com/review. But it's just about news time, so we better take a break. And before we do that, we want to recommend our friends at the Altstock Brewery at Highway 290 East in Fredericksburg. They are a sponsor of the KM Builders Remodeling and Design shows and the Cold One with KM on Wednesday nights. Check out the Altstock Brewery. It is a wonderful destination. We'll be right back to the KM Builders Remodeling and Design show. What time do you have?
2:30.
Even?
Mhm.
Oh, good. Did it at the right time.
The last one was right at 2:15 too. See? It's up there.
Oh, there it is. I've been looking for it. I'm trying to use my watch.
It should also be at the bottom of those computer
There's
screens
a
too.
big clock there.
Yeah, it should also be at the bottom of these computer screens right here. These computer screens, you know how the computers
Oh,
have
there
the
it is.
time.
Yeah. A little small there.
Yeah. I think that we should submit our awards to the national.
You're up to the work
It's the same thing. We've already did it. It's just paying.
and then learn.
Yeah, see if we get it. I think at least Gallardo would win, but I'm pretty sure they would all.
What was
I mean,
the other one?
Gallardo, Taylor Whole House, and Brooklyn Kitchen.
Brooklyn. That's a $6 million man. Have you ever seen it?
Mm-mm.
They had a doll made after the $6 million man, Steve Austin. And that's actually the guy talking right there. The Steve Austin, his voice. You gotta
Even
see
one,
the $6 million man show someday. It's hilarious. He was so cool in the day, and he's
Really?
so lame now. He would move, and there would be this, because they were showing it like it was real fast, but it was slow.
Uh-huh.
And
Oh, how stupid.
You would crack up.
Gotta check mic 2. Do you want to do that now? See if
Oh,
the issue
yeah.
was-
Yeah.
Oh, the 5?
Or, yeah, fine.
We don't know how to get it on.
Let's see.
Was it all these buttons need to be pushed, maybe?
Let's see. We're using 5, right?
Yeah, that's the one we like to use.
Oh, I'm sorry. No.
I forget too sometimes. I don't know. Yeah, they come in a bunch. I just meant, okay, this should work. I could test it.
Yeah.
So.
It's not on, you know that? It's not lit up. Oh, I have to turn it on first, right?
Yeah, the on button. You can, everything's fired down.
It's not. Let's test it. Can you hear it? Test it. Nothing.
Yep.
Yep, that's mic 5, but the light's not on. Okay.
He said he can hear it? Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Tell
I
Brandon.
don't think it's gonna work.
God, my phone working. It
The
worked?
last time we got it to work,
It did not light
it
up.
lit up, right?
Uh-uh.
Oh, no?
It's
No,
never
it
lit up.
Okay,
Yeah, it's just, always remember the program button, that's the main one.
that's the
Oh,
one.
okay.
Yeah, everything else is nonsense. We'll just.
That's all it was.
Nonsense.
Well, for y'all, for me, it's important over there.
Okay,
Thank you.
but that's the only one that needs to be on.
Yeah.
How come all the other ones are on then?
I'm not sure who, there's a lot of people just come in here and in and out and use stuff. There's stuff to record, stuff to go over here.
Oh, okay.
Just to be safe.
In case it's recording or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Phones.
How do I drop it again?
Okay, so.
Cause I can't
Right
see,
here.
oh, there it is, that's the
Yeah.
one I did.
It comes back. Yeah,
But you
so.
can't see it from this angle at all, you know, you can't see any of this writing on here from here?
Yeah, it's a little bit,
Really?
the X, well, I
That's
guess.
all I
that's-
can see, yeah,
yeah,
but it
just-
says drop right here.
Yeah, the X button, so it's just,
When you put your shadow over it, now I can see it.
okay,
There you go.
I guess
Isn't it?
that-
It's weird.
yeah, I don't know. Usually I'm able to control it in there, but I guess we don't have a proper screen, so. Whatever.
Thank you, sir.
Whatever.
Deal with it.
And I just figured out where the clock is on the wall.
Oh, yeah. They do need a bigger one, so.
Never thought of looking on that screen to see a clock.
I know. Do you know who this Mickey is that
What's that?
emailed us?
About what?
Our logo. She said that
Mhm.
she said she liked it. I didn't know who it was. I
She's one
forwarded
of our
it to
followers.
you. Yeah. Mickey Sinkarik.
Just, might be a pretty disgusting. Probably never met her. We gotta do it quick. We can get into the subject I wanna talk about. Welcome to the KM Builders Remodeling Design Show. I'm Keith, and
Hello.
this is Morgan. She's supposed to say this is Morgan.
This is Morgan.
All right, we got the microphone working now, finally, and we are on video, but we are not on Instagram. Unfortunately, it's not working, but we are on Facebook and YouTube.
Mhm.
So you can catch us there. But
And
let's
you
get into our
should
first.
look at us.
Why is that, Morgan?
Because our What's Trending is our new logo. So if you're looking on Facebook and YouTube, or wherever, you can really see it because we've announced it already. So our new logo is up. I think it's really cool.
We're gonna have two forms of it.
Yep, a black background and then one that bleeds into white, so it looks really nice. And we announced it on our newsletter, so if you're not on our newsletter, you're missing out, because they're the first place we announce things. And we got a really nice comment back, and she said that it's a nice, crisp, clean logo. It kind of reminded her of a compass, but she really liked it, and so we appreciate our newsletter readers.
Yes. and all of you on Instagram and Facebook too, and as well as YouTube. And we're talking today and taking calls at 737-1200 and any subject in remodeling. But we want to talk a little bit about high-end versus high quality. So a lot of times people will spend a very high-end amount of money to get a project done and still not be high quality. You can see this in even in custom homes, where the homes are very expensive, but the quality's not there. And many of the projects where we go and meet people for the consultation, I meet them, they've seen that the quality of people that charge them really big bucks was not there. And so when I go to talk to people about high quality, I never talk about high end or high prices, but sometimes that's what they think I'm talking about. They think high quality is always high pricing, and that's not always true either. You've got Ford F-150, you've got Ford F-250, you've got Ford F-350s, and you've got diesels, you've got Lariats, you've got, you've got the Platinum and the King Ranches. All those are different price points, but they're all start with the same quality. And if you're a foreign car lover, you could use Toyota Corolla, Toyota Camry. Camry was rated one of the best cars in the world. And then you have Avalon, which is an even nicer vehicle, and then you can go to Lexus quality. And all of those are quality vehicles, but they don't have the same price points. And some are going to be on that high-end price point, and others are going to be much more reasonably priced. So we don't talk about what it takes to get high-end. We're talking about what it takes to get high quality, and there is a threshold that those manufacturers will not go below because it would affect their reputation and or the safety and performance of their vehicle. And so the customer would really suffer, possibly severely. And the same is true in remodeling. We talk about high quality, and although there are many different price points on quality, there's a certain threshold that you cannot go below before you start risking your reputation and the satisfaction of the client and the longevity of the product. The durability of the project is seriously affected when you go below that. But that is not what everyone tells people. They end up thinking that if it's a lower price, it's just a lower price. They don't tell them that it's not good quality. And the same is true on high prices. A lot of people will tell them that it's high end, and it is by price, but it's not high end on quality. So we call those things two different. In our world, high end does not always equal high quality. And so you really need to be using the quality products and the quality installation to get your true high end project.
Yeah, what kind of things would make it suffer in quality even if they're paying more?
Well, you could have a flooring that doesn't hold up well, because of the gloss or the shine, and you might really hate that flooring product, even though it might be expensive. But let's use a better example would be to say that the cabinets look beautiful, but they're particle board composition. And so if you get a little water on them, they're going to ruin. And the same is true in flooring. There's a lot of flooring that if you've got water on it, just a little bit of water on it, it could be very expensive flooring. It could be an exotic flooring. It could have the most expensive wood on it, but right below that wood strata layer is something that you would never want to get wet at all, not even a little.
Oh, wow.
Even if the maid put just a little too much water on the mop, you might be swelling and ruining your floors. So those are just two little examples. But it goes back to the basics and the fundamentals of doing good construction work. Just because someone can sell you a project that has a lot of neat products in it, a really cool bathroom, even maybe it have a bidet, some beautiful tiles, some beautiful fixtures. That doesn't mean that what's behind it and how it's installed, or the plumbing, or the tile waterproofing is done right. So no matter how much you spend on your tile, if it's going to leak, it's not quality. It does not mean that you got a high-end project, a high-quality project, just because you paid a high-end price from someone who knows how to make you excited about the product. So there's a lot of difference between those two things. And so we really focus on high quality. Whether you spend a little or a lot on the product is irrelevant. It's got to be a good product, and most importantly, it has to be installed correctly. The proper waterproofing, the proper foundation, if we're building a room addition, doesn't matter how big that room addition is, if they don't start putting in the hard work and the extra work that it takes to get a foundation engineered and specified, I mean, let me just give you an example on that. If you have an engineer on your foundation, he signs off on a letter, and then you don't have it inspected, because most guys who are builders are not gonna go out and inspect it themselves and watch over it. They don't, and even if they did, they wouldn't know what they were looking for. Most builders are salespeople. So they have people that do that, and they trust their crews. Well, I can tell you, I've watched many times, and I know how to do concrete work, that a lot of times little steps are skipped, or they're not being careful enough. So you know what we do?
That's very dangerous, right?
So I used to watch all my own pours to make sure that the steel was in the right place, that the beams were, and there's two things that happen. One is you get a better job, and two, you don't have waste. And then three, you don't have callbacks, because what you thought was hidden, and what's hidden in that foundation is not proper. And so what I used to do is watch the pours myself. I taught people how to watch it and inspect it. But eventually we grew to the point where I couldn't do that. Well, we had our own concrete crew, yeah. And so that was a great opportunity. But eventually what we started doing is we hired engineered inspections before we pour, to make sure the steel and the beams and the plastic and everything is done right. And then we have an engineer at the pour, an engineered inspection at the pour. So
wow, I
all
didn't know
during the
that.
pour, and they check to make sure they don't add too much water to the concrete. They check that the temperature is correct, and that they're not getting a cold joint by having trucks delay too long. And all of these things are watched now very, very precisely. It goes back to experience and precision equals quality. And that's the only way you're gonna get quality. If you have the experience and the knowledge, and then you apply it by being precise and being careful, that's the only way you're gonna get.
Because just because something looks beautiful doesn't mean that it's going to last.
Even a beautiful foundation can look like, oh, that is just really, really pretty.
So smooth.
Or you can have a patio that has a beautiful finish on it, and they did stamping or whatever. But if they didn't go through the details, that patio may be pulling away from the house. That patio
Cracking.
cover that you build on it can be pulling away from the house. It can be rotting if they didn't do it right. It can really give you a nightmare. So we really need to be careful about what we think is just high end does not mean high quality. We're gonna go ahead and take a break now, and we'll talk a little more about it. But before we do, we wanna mention our sponsor and our great team player, Legacy Heating and AC Services. We were talking about the danger of monoxide poisoning earlier. Chad Briggs and his team are awesome guys. They really are nice gentlemen to work with. You'll love them. Look them up at legacyservicesac.com. And we'll be right back to the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show.
I knew it had to be him. I didn't even look at he sent it.
Oh, of course. Don't you dare say that on the air. I was
Mic
so
drop.
tempted.
Oh, use something in it. And the little icon he has
I
of
know, it
himself.
looks just like him. Gross.
So you need to text him back and say, Keith said you should listen to us on Facebook so he can talk back to you. During the breaks, talk back to you during the breaks. What else did he write? Nothing, something?
Yes, he said, I said, so tempting. He said, that's what she said. I said, no comment. I told him. I tried to avoid saying the nose thing, but I couldn't. It was like catnip.
Catnip. Gotta go back to it. should have had that, dude.
Catch.
Mhm.
He said he doesn't have Facebook. Dinosaur.
We'll put that on their dinosaur.
That's what I'm gonna put. He's so private. That's why.
What do you put?
Nope.
Just private.
No, I don't know. But I just think that these projects, if we don't win with these 3 projects that we submitted, we're never gonna win.
It's not about that, it's about documenting, it's about the photos.
It was
it's about
all
the angle
documented.
of the photos, it's little things that they look at,
Oh, yeah.
the way you write it
Oh,
up.
you know, I found, old winners. Ours looked, we did it exactly like the ones that won the nationals.
Good.
Yeah. So that's the other reason I was thinking, I'm like, if we win, I think we should
What do you
try.
write?
I used to have it for a while, long while, then got off permanently.
Tell them Dad understands completely. He doesn't like to be on it either. What do you say at the end?
I'm much more satisfied not having it. That's why we get all of his comments, because he doesn't do it on Facebook. He doesn't get it out.
Welcome back to the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show. I'm Keith Moehle and glad to be with you along with Morgan. Is that mic 5? Is that what it is?
Yes, it's Mike 5.
Okay. And we are taking your calls for the last segment at 737-1200. And we are going to go ahead and continue a little bit more about precision and experience equaling quality. You got to have the experience and you've got to have precision to follow through on it to equal the quality that people want. And we were talking about high end versus high quality. A lot of times people will ask about, they'll forget some of the basics whenever they're looking to contractors. So it is an education for people to learn and get all these things right. You really need to be able to compare. So that's why we invite you to ask us to come to your project. Let us look at it. No matter what stage you're in, I'll come out and look at it and make sure you're being protected. And if you want us to look at the beginning, there's no charge for that at any time. There's a free consultation, and what I do there is kind of get you acquainted with what you should be looking for. And there's a lot of things that people tell me that they had never heard before or they never thought of, and so that doesn't cost you anything. And what it can do, though, is avoid a very costly mistake. When you know what to expect, then you can see if others will provide that same service. Even if you don't hire KM Builders, and you might make the decision to hold off because you're not getting the results that you wanted. You may feel that the reason you didn't hire us is because the project's costing more than you thought it would be, and that's okay. There's projects I hold off on too because they cost me more than I want. I just have to wait. But at least I'm not gonna do them wrong. At least I'm not gonna have to live with having wasted money and having to see that and have to be reminded of it every day, and that's what you want too. So high end is not necessarily equate with high quality in two ways. One is you could put a lot of money into something and it doesn't guarantee it's going to be high quality. And the other thing is that just because you're gonna do things in a quality manner doesn't mean you're gonna spend a high-end price always either. Now you can, and there's lots of ways to get into quality, and you can keep going. There's no limit on the amount of money you could spend, obviously, to get a very high-end project if you wanted it high quality also. So that makes a sense to, hopefully to most of you. But let's go ahead and take our caller. Denise is calling right now. Denise, how are you?
I am doing well. How are you?
We're great. How can I help you?
I'm calling to get some information about crown molding. I need to have a couple of rooms done. Do you do crown molding?
Yes, we do. It's part of what our trim crew does. We do just about everything in trim, from custom work to kind of the normal work too. But yeah, crown molding is a beautiful way to add a lot of value. And if you get it done, get us over there soon. You try to get this done before the holidays, Denise?
Yes, I am.
Well, we better get on it then. You better give us a call at 680-5626 so I can go out and get one of my guys. So I might have to get one of my guys to help me look at it. But one of my project managers could look at that for you. He'd give you a price probably within a few hours, maybe 24 hours. And then if you wanted to do it, we could work it into our schedule.
Okay, now I have a question. I don't know if you can answer, but what is the normal estimate in regards to doing crown molding?
If you just wanted to do the paint, the actual crown molding itself, you're gonna look at several $100s per room to do that, the labor and materials. And if you're painting it, you're gonna be getting close to probably, around $1,000 a room. I'd say roughly about $500 per room if you did one room. And if you did multiple rooms, that price may come down. Now, if you're painting the crown molding, you want us to paint it, which most people do, then you're gonna be getting closer to $1,000 a room. But it could be as little as $600 to $700 a room, including painting if you have several rooms. That's just kind of an average. And I have to look at the rooms and see how high the ceilings are and all that stuff too.
Okay, sounds good. Then I will give you a call next week.
Okay, Denise, thank you for calling the show, and our website is easy to remember. It's kmbuilders.com. kmbuilders. All right.
I'm sorry, KM Builders. Do you do hardwood floors?
Yes, ma'am, we do. We are dealers for flooring, so we have a direct line to the manufacturer on all types of flooring.
Oh, sounds good. Okay, so that means when you come out next week for us, you can check both.
That is exactly correct. So give us a call and we'll look forward to meeting you, Denise. All right. And so just like that, you can give us a call or look us up, 680-KMCO, or look us up at kmbuilders.com. And you can leave a review at kmbuilders.com/review. We would love to have you join our weekly newsletter at friends@kmbuilders.com. Anything else I'm missing?
Nope, you can just check us out keep up with us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We've got some really awesome vlogs coming out, so you're gonna wanna see those videos.
Yes, and when do we release our iPod
Our
podcast?
iTunes podcast, we
iTunes.
just finished recording the 8th episode, so we'll be submitting it to iTunes in the next week or two.
So
And
look forward to that. And thank you so much for listening. We look forward to hearing you and talking to you next week on the KM Builders Design and Remodeling Show. And remember, you could have someone else remodel your home, but then you'd have to live in it.